Hello everyone, it's Rebecca and I'm back with another bullet journal setup for the month of September. Can you believe we're already down to our last 4 months of the year? It's crazy to me how quick 2020 has flown by because it feels like quarantine started not too long ago. But soon it'll be fall, which I'm kind of excited for because fall means hoodie weather all the time. But with life flying by so quickly, I think it's important to take some time to ourselves and to keep ourselves healthy both mentally and physically. Which is why this month I wanted to do a theme featuring brunch food, because who doesn't love food? Now I'm not normally a huge breakfast food person, mostly because I don't wake up hungry, but I do love getting brunch because it's a good balance between sweet and savory foods. And brunch is early enough in the day that when I'm done eating, I feel like I have the whole day ahead of me to be productive. You can see that I'm already working on the quote page. I wanted to write something motivational that went along with the theme of brunch, but I couldn't think of anything, so we're going with "Let's get this bread." For all of my titles, I'm doing this sort of serif font, which you can see for the word bread. I thought there would be more of a noticeable difference between the shades of brown that I used, but there isn't really a big difference unless you look real close. I also drew a cute little loaf of bread and drew a face on it. The color palette that I'm using this month is more neutral and muted colors, kind of an autumn colored palette. Moving on to the cover, I wanted to draw a variety of brunch foods that I'll be using later on throughout this theme. When I wrote September, I actually switched to outlining with my Pentel Energel RTX 0.3mm pen over the Sakura Pigma Micron because my Micron seemed to be running out of ink, but the pen and the fine liner were both about the same thickness, so it didn't make much of a difference. The first thing I drew are these red squiggly rectangles with a red Crayola super tip that will be for the strips of bacon. Then I drew out the yellow for the center of the eggs and then drew avocados. And you'll start to see the color change a bit since I recorded this first bit as the sun was going down. The next food I drew were strawberries, followed by bagels and pancakes. Next, I wanted to draw French toast, but the only way I was able to distinguish it from being a normal piece of bread was by adding a braid to the corner, and you'll see me add a mustache a little later. I thought this was super cute. The last foods I'm adding are cups of coffee and waffles. I'm definitely not an artist, but all of these foods were pretty simple to draw as they were mostly basic shapes. So let me know in the comments if an in-depth tutorial on how I drew all of these food characters would be something that you want to see. I finished off by adding a border around the page with the purple Tombow, and then I went in with my pen to add facial expressions to the food. I also took a white pen to add the lines of the bacon and added one more bacon drawing to the empty space. And welcome to the next morning. I realized I had forgotten to outline the whipped cream on the pancakes, so I'm doing that now. I also thought the white eyes on the cups were a little bit creepy, so I went in with my black pen to fill them up a bit. I actually didn't catch this on camera, but I pretty much covered up the entire white on the cups and decided not to have the facial expressions show up. And this is the cover. Moving on to the monthly spread, I was a little bit disappointed to see that my markers bled through the pages because usually the pages in my journal hold up pretty well to the markers. I guess I must have been a little too enthusiastic with coloring. I started off the monthly spread by drawing the boxes with different colors. I used 7 different colors and rotated them throughout the days. I decided not to use the ruler because I wanted the hand-drawn feel, and I feel like it fit with this fun brunch theme. Behind the boxes, I colored a couple giant drawings of food. I had a pancake with strawberries, an egg, a cup of coffee, and an avocado. For coloring around the edges, I placed a piece of paper underneath to prevent the marker from getting on the other pages of the journal. This monthly spread I felt like came out a lot better than I expected, but I did have to go back in and redraw the lines of some of the colored boxes. I chose to draw waffles and pancakes around the expense page title. Are you guys more of a waffle or a pancake person? I think for me it depends on the day. I like how fluffy pancakes can be, but sometimes you really just want a good waffle. But I have to say that the key is to use real maple syrup. It makes your pancakes or waffles taste so good. For highlighting the lines, I decided to use my ruler to highlight the rows, but as you can see, I made a mistake, so I went over it with whiteout and it was less noticeable. On the habit tracker, I drew the more savory brunch foods with bacon, an egg, and an avocado. I decided that I wanted to draw the boxes freehand. This is really just a test of my ability to keep a steady hand. For the boxes, I drew them freehand because, like for the monthly spread, I wanted the hand-drawn, perfectly imperfect look. My hand was extremely shaky through the process, but I like how they came out, and it was so much faster to draw all of these lines rather than if I had used a ruler. I finished off the monthly spread by filling out the names of the habits. I decided to write in white pen for the darker shades and the black pen for lighter shades. For my weekly spreads, I chose 2 brunch foods to focus on for the theme. For the first one, I'm going to do eggs and bacon. After writing out the name of the month, I drew a pattern of the bacon and then an egg, kind of as if I were drawing my own washi tape. I added the mini calendar in the corner and highlighted the current week. Then I drew eggs and a strip of bacon for each section of the days of the week. I used to really love bacon when I was younger, and I remember my mom would always be surprised when she would make some for my siblings and me, and it'd be gone instantly. Eggs are one of those foods that I have to be in the mood for, but I love how many ways there are to cook them. And this is the spread. This second weekly spread is the one that took the most time because of the coloring. This theme is bagels and avocados, but mostly avocados. I first drew out the bagel and also decided to give it a face. Then I drew the boxes of the days of the week and highlighted the dates with a lighter shade of brown. Then I went a little crazy on the avocados and colored avocados in the background of all different sizes. Avocados are another food that I love because they go great on so many foods. If you saw my thumbnail for this video, I made a sweet avocado toast with strawberries, coconut shavings, and honey. Usually I eat avocado toast with an egg on it, but the sweet one was really good. I would highly recommend it. Moving on, I did another pancake and waffle combination. I drew different shapes for the waffles and different toppings for the pancakes. To be honest, the waffles came out looking a little more like an overhead shot of a pie, but it's fine. I know that it's a waffle, and that's all that matters, right? After that, I just added some lines for the days of the week and wrote the first letter of each day of the week. I really like how minimalistic the spread turned out, and sometimes when you don't have a lot of time, simple is best. Finally, for this last weekly spread, I drew cups of coffee with toast. I also drew 2 tiny cups of coffee and 1 tiny toast in the corner of 3 of the days. After, I wrote the day on the cup or the piece of toast, and then drew the outline of the boxes for the days of the week. I'm not honestly a big coffee drinker because coffee is a little too bitter for me, but I like drinking the sweet coffees with a lot of milk and sugar in them. But yeah, I will usually pick tea over coffee. And now for the final flip through. There are clearly a ton of brunch foods I didn't include, like hash browns, so let me know in the comments what your favorite brunch food is. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to eat brunch every once in a while, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!